interesting individual. He goes by the name of David G. Rose, if I'm not correct. But Rosie is what we call you as.
Yes, yeah, my nickname is Rosie.
So let's go back to the beginning. How long? When did you discover that you had a talent for music?
I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, and I was probably about 17, and I had one love, and it was bass guitar.
Okay.
And started performing, and I was snuck into clubs. I was underage, so I was kind of snuck in the back door to perform with bar bands. And that led to getting out and getting some decent work back as a kid. And that led to stumbling onto a band that actually, it ended up being fronted. I don't know if you remember the band, A Foot in Cold Water, Canadian band, and that song In the Moonlight.
Sounds...
Yeah, Make Me Anything You Want.
Okay, yeah.
Alex was out in Los Angeles, and I had partnered up with a friend of mine who was he was the keyboard player of the Silver Bullet Band, Bob Seger, and he wanted to put his own band together, and they picked me, and just getting to be friends with Alex led that band to Toronto, where it was actually signed in 1982.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since. Kind of grew up in the ranks, dealing with all these guys who had been doing it forever.
So you came from Detroit. Where are you at now?
I'm in Wasaga Beach, Ontario. In Wasaga Beach.
I wouldn't have thought anyone from Detroit would have gone to Wasaga Beach, but then again...
I spent so much time in Toronto. I lived there, and one day I just remember I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, well.
The city boy was gone. I needed to get out. I needed some time to myself, and I moved away. And
yeah. And there you are, in Wasaga Beach, having all the contemplation time to actually write and play and create astounding music. So the folks, the whole reason why I decided to pull this guy into an interview is because he's his band. Well, the band that he fronts has some astounding chops when it comes to smokehouse or barrel house style, and you decided to come out with the latest release, which I can't remember the name of the track. It was a single, and it had to do... Say that again?
Faded Tattoo?
No, well, that's one of them, but the latest one was more along the lines of...
On My Trail.
That's it. And the first thing that comes to mind is Robert Johnson, because there's a lot of lore around him that he made a deal with the devil to be able to do what you want. And then with the Supernatural series, they decided to have an actual episode featuring, at the beginning, Robert Johnson running away from a hellhound because of his deal with the devil, and that's how the demons collect their souls. They send hounds to do the collection. So what brought you to actually do that particular release, the Hellhound on Your Trail?
I was kind of interested in, it was a time I was reading, and it was about people who had been, say, charged with crimes that they didn't commit.
Okay.
And basically spent their life on the run for something that they had nothing to do with. And when I kind of started dicing the lyrics about, that line came to head: Hellhounds on my trail. And there's no place left to hide. And it's basically, you're cornered, you're done.
Wow. Okay, so that actually, I listened to it at least 3 times, and it's got a haunting melody tied into it that you can't really shoo away. It's something that if you listen to the lyrics and listen to the music, it's profound. It's probably the best way of putting it.
I appreciate that because I like to write honesty. When I write a song, I'm not one that makes things up. Like everything has something to do with everything. I want to be honest with the people, and I want the people to listen to the words, understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay. The whole thing. Now before this particular single, you had an album that released. I think it was 2024, and it had to do with the Faded Tattoo and the rest of them.
Faded Tattoo was released. We were out this summer. We had a really good run of festival shows.
Okay.
And the debut album, that was called Welcome to the Smokehouse.
That's it.
And, yeah, that was released in October of 24. And we had been promoting it over the summer, like really pushing it at the festivals, doing an all-original show. But we started recording this second album just prior to summer. So I'm going to say maybe March, April, we were in the studio laying bed tracks down.
Okay.
And as the masters started coming in, Faded Tattoo was the first master that showed up, finished. And I listened to it, and I went, it's taking shape, and it's going in the direction that I've kind of been chasing.
Okay.
So I sent it to the record company, and they said, let's release it now. Like, let's jump on it. And with the era of digital, I'm all for that because, I mean, let's keep the people interested. We released that in the middle of the summer tour, and we were performing it live, and it was going over like gangbusters. And the next master that came in was Hellhound. And that's the one that I've been trying to capture this band's live show, which is pure energy. You get in the studio in those kind of confined areas, and you can't seem to get that power, what you really want. Well, I think we finally found it. And when Hellhound came out, I sent that to the label, and they said, you know what, October 31st, Halloween, would be, and I went, let's do it.
Yeah,
So,
it actually hit the mark, and I'm going, why am I only listening to it now after the Halloween period?
yeah.
But it was fun to actually see it, and the imagery, the art that was used to actually convey the song actually reminded me, wait a minute, that's almost like a werewolf. It's almost even worse than a hellhound. So with the right now, from what I'm hearing, you're aiming for another album coming down very soon.
Yeah, we were in the studio. We laid down, I believe, a total of 8 bed tracks, and then we had to start going out and performing. So every chance I got, I'd come back to the studio, and our producer, Mario Giamarco, I'd go into the studio with him, and we'd just basically cut the lead vocals and start doing all the intricate stuff, and then he'd proceed to start mixing down. So we're done now till, I think, February.
Okay.
We're off the road, we're finished, and Mars and I are going to start mixing these down and get them mastered and get everything set, and hopefully sometime around March for the second album.
Oh, nice. Do you have a title floating around in regards to the album?
I've chosen Wind of Change.
Ooh.
It's one of the songs that will be on the album.
Yeah, well, Winds of Change is what happens in Wasaga Beach. A lot of winds go by that area.
It sure happened last week. We got our first snowfall.
don't even get me started. We were supposed to. I'm in central New Brunswick, so compared to northern New Brunswick, which gets snowfall pretty much dead on somewhere at the end of October, sometimes in November. We haven't seen snowfall yet here, but maybe 60 to 100 kilometers away in a town or townships towards the coast. Some of them got some snow, but very light snow.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this year's winter is going to be merciful, but
yeah, you and me both.
I'm blessed with the fact that I gave up the shovel for a long time ago, and I decided I'm going to hire people to actually just do my driveway. It's got its ups and downs, but at the very least they open up the driveway so I don't have to worry about having a snowdrift that comes up to here, stopping my car or vehicle going out on the road. So, shall I call you Rosie?
Sure.
Okay.
Everybody does.
So Rosie, I mean, with all this touring and whatnot, did you guys have any logistical problems that you had to overcome?
No, actually, our summer was beautiful. We made it as far as Ottawa. We did the Ottawa Blues Fest this year, and came back. We did a lot of Orangeville Blues Fest, Wasaga Beach Blues Fest, Kitchener Blues Fest. We had a really beautiful run, and we had venue dates coinciding with a lot of those shows. So we were moving around, but no, it was the kind of summer you dream of as a musician. Everything went perfectly.
Okay, so no tire blowouts, no lost equipment, no damaged equipment, so on and so forth. Well, that's good. That's very good, because I've got tales of horror for certain musicians that I interviewed in the past, where they ended up having their trailer, their U-Haul, somebody took off with it. It had all their equipment, all their gear, all personal items. They managed to find it, and they managed to actually get the goods back, because they were all being sold at pawn shops mostly. So it was just the police doing their diligence and actually trying to recoup. But then again, with that happening, they also made connections with their local musicians that came in to help, providing them the instruments for the venue of the evening. It was a Plan B event where the Plan B no longer exists, and it was a nice, cozy bar where you had limited space to actually set up bands depending on how big it was. But then again, they always had a huge amount of people showing up for a drink and free music. So it was interesting, to say the least. But I'm glad that your tour and your gigging hasn't gone awry. Now, as a human being, do you have time for any hobbies?
I golf.
You golf?
I'm a golf fan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, you can't golf in winter, but you can golf pretty much any time during spring to autumn, depending on the golf greens.
We do simulator golf.
Oh, you do simulator? Well, that's even better.
Yep. All the simulators have opened up over the past 2-3 weeks, and we just take it indoors and pretend to golf.
But what's your habitual day for golfing? Do you get up at 6 a.m., hit to be the first one on the what is it, kickoff tee?
Yeah. The first tee?
Yeah.
We spent years Sunday morning 6 a.m. and then the more the touring picked up, we realized we weren't getting home till 3 a.m.
Okay.
And it was basically going right to the golf course and just beating ourselves to death trying to holes, and we changed that, and we became afternoon golfers.
Okay. Well, there's nothing wrong about afternoon as long as you wear your sunscreen, and depending on where you're golfing, your bug spray. And then you dot the I's and cross the T's and hope that no gophers or foxes are going to nab your balls and go away with them. The good old days when I was a kid, my dad brought me out and I was using my mother's own golf set, and I just went out golfing. But it was here and there. I mean, we had a local golf course in Grand Falls, New Brunswick, which was about 30-minute drive from my home. And then eventually during summer, we would camp at Fundy National Park, which is down south of Moncton. And I used to golf there, and Stonehurst was a par 3 golf because it was a very short golf. You didn't have to use any drive irons, otherwise you'd be suicidal. There's nothing worse than using a good wood to actually knock a ball, but you're kind of all over the place in people's backyards, so no. But I'm glad that you actually picked up, because with that you get to relive moments, talk about what you guys went through, if you have ideas, and there's no one really pressuring you unless there's somebody behind you that's waiting for you to get off their course so that they can go ahead with the golf.
Well, I'll tell you, the silence is golden.
Yeah.
After you get out on that course, and we usually walk, and you just get about 2-3 holes in, and you realize there's no noise, and slowly the ears clear up. And I always enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's where it's very peaceful up until there's this nerve-wracking 4 coming by, but it's seldom seen and seldom heard because people are a little bit more relaxed when it comes to playing golf. They're not the dare-do-alls that want to kill people with their own golf clubs or golf balls. So there's that. Now I know you've got a website, and
yes.
I can't remember what the website is. You probably do.
www.rosiessmokehousedeluxe.com, and that's all one word.
Now, with the release of the CD, have you decided to do forays in vinyl?
We hard pressed the CD, but I just don't see a market in vinyl right now for us.
Okay.
I'd like to down the line, but right now I just think that's kind of crazy.
Okay, well, it depends on the market. It depends also on the type of music that you give. You could always do a limited run where you're limiting it at just to give you a figure. I've heard people do limited runs of 50, but typically to get vinyl pressed, depending on who you're dealing with, it's usually bigger orders of about 100 or more. And they're expensive. They go by, I mean, if I want to buy one, it's from anyone touring, it's usually around $35 to $55. Yeah. But then you get premium artwork. You get also possible liner notes that weren't available on the digital side of things or on the pressed CD. So you can do a lot. But that said, like you mentioned, it's depends on the market and depends on if you think that you want to go in that foray. Apart from that, have you actually done any other merch that you've been purveying?
Yeah, we've had our T-shirts are available now.
Oh, nice.
We brought those out, really nice logo. And we had a little combination. We were doing the shirts for $35. I think the CDs we were selling at the shows for $15, and if you picked up both, we called it the Smokehouse Special, and we just gave you both for $40.
Nice. Well, that's good. That means that you're connecting with the masses.
Well, we're trying. It's a tough market out there.
It is, but it's like anything. It's got its ups and downs. And if you're somebody who, like you, enjoys doing music, the ups and downs are pretty much almost all the same. It's just in the pocketbook and everything else. That's where you start seeing that it's kind of sinking. Your wallet is feeling a little bit thinner in regards to doing your gigs. Gratefully, you're in an area, you're in the province that actually enjoys having live music, especially for the type of music that you actually produce.
Right. Well, we are in hopes of getting east this coming summer.
Okay,
Yes.
east as in Maritimes or east as in just Quebec?
I would love to do Quebec. I'd love to head out to New Brunswick, do Halifax. I mean, all areas I did play with a band I was with for years. And I'd like to get this band out there because I really think that people would enjoy what we do. It's a powerful show.
Oh yeah, there's interesting festivals across the provinces that are open. There's quite a few in Nova Scotia that decided to actually make steps, and in New Brunswick we went from having 2 festivals that I was aware of to now 3, if not 4. Shediac, which is a town maybe 20 minutes away, decided to do I don't agree with what they called it, but they called it a blues crawl. Basically, you went from venue to see and hear blues music, but most of the artists that they had weren't blues centric. Like there was a few. There was J.P. LeBlanc, who's from Bathurst, New Brunswick, or Petit Rocher, and the guy is phenomenal. I mean, yeah, Colin Linden helped in doing one of his albums, and he participated with the International Memphis Blues Challenge a few years ago. And then in Nova Scotia, we've got great. I mean, Dutch Mason's son, Garrett Mason, isn't recording, but he's known across Europe, across Canada. I mean, his namesake goes before him. But yeah, no, for you, if you decide to do a tour through the Maritimes, you'll, before you do that, search and you'll find a lot of venues that you can actually stop and either do a overnight tour while you're heading to another destination for a festival.
That's the way to do it. I mean, you can cover ground. You know, do 1-2 shows on your way to a major festival, and then proceed down the road and do another couple shows.
Yeah,
that's the way to.
Now, one thing that I forgot to ask, when I know you're singing, so you're the singer-songwriter, the composer with the band, anyone that wants to throw in, but what kind of musical instrument do you prefer using when you're on the road?
Instrument-wise, I play bass, and I use Yamaha 5-string.
Okay.
TBRX. I use an Ibanez 5-string. Amp-wise, I've been Ampeg. I got 30 years. I've used Ampeg bass amps. I absolutely love them. They're bulletproof.
Okay, bulletproof is a good thing, especially if you're traveling. Because I know that certain amps, depending, they're a little bit touchy in regards to the circuit board. And the worst thing ever is static shock that occurs on the board, and you have microfractures, and it's misfiring every single time that you want to play. And you end up having to have it repaired or going for something that's actually not brand new, or what they call brand used, where it's a second-hand one, but it has never failed. But the person that owns it doesn't want to use it anymore. So, but I'm glad that you found your own. Huh?
I've had pretty good luck. Ampeg approached me. They had just come out with the SVT3 Pro.
Okay.
They were brand new on the market, and I got a really sweet little endorsement deal with them. And I love it. I've loved that thing for years. I take it with me everywhere.
I'm glad that you do. Now, the last question I have is, what's your favorite food dish? And by that I mean, if you were given everything and anything that you love eating, but you always go to that one item if it's available for you in front.
My favorite food dish would be sushi.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely love sushi.
I tried it once. I never went back.
Well,
but what?
That acquired taste?
No, it's just there's a bluesman that did a blues rag about Sushi Lady, and basically he's talking about certain types of fish that are used. If you're going, I think it's sashimi they call it. But I took the California roll with a friend of mine, and I was actually digging the fish combinations with the wasabi and the pickled ginger and everything else until I hit the salmon. I could not eat that salmon. I tried to eat it like I was eating the others, but as soon as I put it in my mouth and I started chewing, I started gagging in a restaurant full of people. So I started piling on the wasabi and the ginger. And I swallowed it, and but thankfully we had also warm wasabi that was our drink of choice for that evening. And that's what turned me off of actually going back for sushi, because I prefer my fish fried over a barbecue with spices, or in a dish, like my grandmother used to make potatoes. She'd make a cream sauce also for sockeye salmon. I mean, sushi was fun. I may go back to it again, but not for the moment. But I'm glad that you enjoy it. So, is there anything you'd like to drop before we actually finish the interview?
I would just like to thank everyone. This band is, the way I look at it, a very young band. We're all seasoned players, but as a unit, it's only been 3 years, and the support has been amazing. I just love writing music. I love performing music, and to have people accept what we do as a band, it means the world to me.
Well, I'm glad that you enjoy that. Well, thank you so much for taking this time out of your day and actually doing the interview. It was a pleasure. It was a real pleasure actually seeing you and hearing your voice in person. So.
Well, I hope next summer we can meet in person.
Well, I hope so too. Until then, though, have a nice evening.
Cheers, my friend.